We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Styles McKenzie helping you make those rooms sing. Today's style tip. When it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild, like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Arr, fierce. This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Always follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. We are live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. 2 games tonight in the NBA. Round 2 of the playoffs. These series are beginning. One in the West, one in the East, of course, the Celtics and the Knicks. And it's always a pleasure to talk to our next guest as the legendary Bob Ryan joins the program now, and he is on the progressive guest line. Bob, thanks so much for the time as always. Pleasure.
You are welcome.
So, when you look at this series in the regular season, it did not go well for the New York Knicks, and that's an understatement. When they played the first 3 games, they were all before February, and they were all double-digit blowout wins for Boston. They played again in April. How much did that game really mean to Boston? They won by 2 points. So a sweep there in the regular season, and a really bad matchup for the Knicks overall. You've been doing this for a long, long time. When a team dominates an opponent over the regular season and then they meet again in the playoffs, how much stock do you put that into a series?
I'm putting minimal stock into this because the Celtics are smart enough to know that what happened in opening night and even what happened in January is not that relevant to how the other team is playing now and how they are playing now. And throw out the 4th game because the Celtics weren't interested in that game, and they're lucky they won that game. And the Knicks know that. Both teams are saying the right things, you know what I mean, quote unquote, both of them. The Knicks know the task ahead of them, but they have some confidence in themselves and coming off, and how they're playing. And the Celtics are not naive. This is a veteran team. Think about the Celtics for a second. Of all the guys who matter on the team, the guy with the least amount of playing experience has 5 years, and that's Pritchard. The two core players are in their prime, Tatum and Brown. The guards are each over 30. And then they've got Uncle Al, who the big brother in the locker room, and throw in Cornette, who by the way is underrated and is a very useful backup center. So anyway, the Celtics know the history. They're going to get schooled. They're going to go out there and with no overconfidence. I'm very certain. I think it's not going to be a sweep. It's either going to be a 5. Or what I call a gentleman's 6, and the Celtics winning Game 6 in New York. I would be surprised if it's anything but.
Okay, so what is relevant, though, is the issues that the Knicks had defensively and not being able to slow them down from 3, and the Celtics set the record for makes and attempts in the regular season. Do you think there's any way that Thibodeau can get stops and they can defend a little bit like Orlando did from beyond the 3, at the 3?
Not much that I can think of. I think, frankly, they're going to have to outscore them.
Okay,
that's my guess. I don't see the Knicks having the matchups at all. I think what I'm looking for the Knicks standpoint is getting. If they don't get this, there's no chance. I want Towns. I want Towns to come up. I think Towns can be a very good secondary guy for Brunson. He and Porzingis on paper are quite similar at 7 feet guys that can shoot threes, but Towns can really shoot threes. And I think if he plays up to his potential, it'll be a reasonably competitive series for most of the time. I think he's the key guy. But I don't see, we all know that they picked up both Anunoby and Bridges over the last 2 years in the hopes ultimately that they could match up against Tatum and Brown. And of course, it hasn't worked out at all so far. And I don't see any evidence it's going to work out the way they thought it would at all. I think their hope's going to be Brunson is uncontrollable for maybe, and Towns will rise up. That's the only chances they have, I think.
You led right into my next question, Bob, and thanks for bringing that up because on paper, the Knicks do have a couple of guys that should be able to match up on the perimeter with Tatum and Brown. But, I mean, Tatum is a man on a mission. He absolutely scorched the Magic in the final 3 games of that series, and he averaged 33-plus points per game against the Knicks in the regular season. So how do they slow down this guy?
I don't know how. Frankly, the guy. I hope he's really good. He's really, really, really good, and he is, as you say, on a mission kind of thing. He gets better every year. He's got the championship belt now, and he's just a tremendous player. When you talk about the transcendent players in the league, and we all know we've got Jokic and we've got Doncic and we've got Antetokounmpo, and right then and there, right there is Tatum. With a range of skill and now the experience and both ends of the floor. He's improved his passing over the years to where he's an excellent distributor. Last year he demonstrated a capacity for traffic defensive rebounding that he had not shown before. There's no holes left in his game, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm. What happens next year with the payroll and what they do to the roster in light of the sale?
Yeah. I stay out of that right now. I mean, I leave that to the people that have to fill airtime. I'm serious. I don't care. I mean, we know it's out there. We know the second apron, the dreaded apron, and we know all that. Yes, it's coming. What? It is. How can I possibly be worried about that now, a couple of hours before tip-off on a much-anticipated series? I don't get involved in that. Like, I'm not being condescending there, but seriously, I just go to the experts when time comes. I've never been very interested in all these payroll stories to start with ever in my whole history, and certainly this one. It's not the time to worry about it. I can't believe people are worrying about it right now. Let's just go play, and when the season's over, and start thinking about it. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it right now. There's nothing. Why would anybody want to fret about this? I mean, anybody being fans and media. I mean, the team, all right, they got to worry about it, but we don't have to worry about it.
I saw you on a podcast last week. You were asked about the likability factor of this team, how the city loves this team, and all your years covering the team. You think that's true?
Yes. I mean, there's no known deviance on this team. There's no but guys. The closest thing anybody has to a nitpick right now, individually, is Brown sometimes goes off. He still doesn't use his left hand very well. He does have a tendency at times to dribble into needless traffic. If that's the only criticism you've got of your primary, 8 guys, serious criticism, you're doing pretty well. I mean, what are you going to complain about? I mean, sometimes they take too many threes. Well, who doesn't in this league? It's a three-point world that we all inhabit. They all inhabit now. Sometimes I get a little exasperated with them. Sometimes there's too much dribbling. What team doesn't have it? They all do. I remember watching last night. I figured, Sengun. Sengun gets a rebound. He brings it up. He chose up. He chose 20 seconds or so on the 24, and before he takes an awful, stupid traffic fall away. This is the world that they all play in now. So, it's exasperating. But anyway, back to the Celtics. There's just that's the closest thing to a complaint. They are a team you can totally root for on and off the floor.
Okay.
Well said.
Yep. Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Bob Ryan, legendary sports writer in Boston. How much trouble do you think the Cavs might be in after yesterday?
I think they'll a little wake-up call kind of thing.
Okay.
Maybe the Pacers are good. I didn't expect it to be a sweep or anything like that. I think the Cavs are going to have to go a hard 6 to get this done. The Pacers, the Pacers believe in themselves. They're well coached. They, of course, they've got guys who can rise up. I mean, Halliburton's capable of hitting you with 40 any given night. Siakam is established himself as a terrific player. The big people are for real. No, I like the team. I think it's going to be a really fun, good series, a good hard-nosed basketball series. I think Camp 2 is going to be terrific because that the Cavaliers were recognized that they can't mess around in that game. So I'm not remotely surprised that Indiana would rise up, and whether they won the game or not, they were going to give them a lot of trouble.
I thought you were fantastic in Celtic City. Were you happy, and do you think they did a great job with all 9 episodes on HBO?
You can't do everything, and you can't please them all 100% of the time. If you live through it, and I've lived through it, there were some things I would have liked to have seen emphasized a little more, perhaps. But in the big picture, they accomplished their mission. Bill Simmons accomplished his mission, I think, to tell this story and flesh it out. And I think he did a fantastic job. I think the editing is just awesome. All the footage that they were able to assemble and the way that thing was put together was masterful. And it was an honor for me to be any remote part of it. And I think that Simmons should take a big bow, and all the people that have anything to do with it. It was really, really nice.
Well, great to talk to you, sir. I loved it, and thanks for a few minutes, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Bob.
It's well done if you want to check it out on HBO. And I didn't want to like it going in. And
Why not? Did you hate the Celtics, or?
Well, yeah, I was more of a Laker guy, but I also knew one of the reasons they did it was because Simmons is a Celtic fan,
Right,
and there was
yeah.
a lot of Lakers documentaries and Lakers stuff floating around.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
That's why, and also they wanted to kind of do their own Last Dance. But he's right. I can't believe some of the footage they have and interviews and stuff with Russell, and was it well done? So
You brought up the idea there of a 6-game series against the Knicks.
I can't get there. I can't.
We have a guest later on who's very strong on that.
Well, he's right about Cat, and I know you've been all over this. You got to get aggressive, Cat. Cat has got.
And he might be,
right.
but I'm not betting on him again.
But right. He's probably right. They're going to have to outscore him. So if you want over 213.5, because it did not. They've lost 8 or 9 to these guys, and I know what happened this year too. But look at what the scores were, and look what they got. Anything they wanted offensively,
I know.
And the Knicks were unable to guard them, especially Tatum, and they got anything off they wanted from 3. And then I would think Holiday, who's good, can contain Brunson.
I'm not a big fan of betting overs this time of year in the NBA, but that feels like a pretty manageable number to make a case for the over in that game tonight. I haven't bet it yet. Mm-hmm. I'm considering it.
Well, I also like, too, make these guys work like Detroit did. Make these guys work on defense and tire them out.
Oh.
And that's what they did. They put Cat in 134 pick and rolls in the matchups. Number 1 in the league by far.
Great coaching.
It was. It was. And he only attempted 11 threes against Boston. That's not going to get it done either. He's got to hit them. He's got to take them. And the big boy, the Knicks went 0-10 against Boston, OKC, and the Cavs combined.
Go check out the betting splits. You can become a VSiN Pro subscriber right now at vsin.com/subscribe for as low as $9.99 per month. You can see where the action's coming in tonight at DraftKings and Circa on that game and also the other game in the NBA.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome back. A busy MLB card tonight. We'll share some of the strong numbers that stick out to us right now. We'll get into the props, by the way, coming up in about 15 minutes. We get the Dodgers and the Marlins playing in Miami. Shohei's first game back since he went, 6 for 6 with 3 home runs and 10 RBIs last year?
You got it.
That was the game that put him over 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases on the year. Mm-hmm. This was supposed to be this rookie, Kasperius, going today for the Dodgers, who I bet today put a little on him at 50-1 to win NL Rookie of the Year based on all the injuries that they're having at starting pitcher. However, now he's going to get the bulk of the innings today, but they're going to go Dreyer now as the opener against Sandy Alcantara, who just faced the Dodgers last week. Paul, did not go well. 2 2/3.
Nope.
7 hits, 7 earned, 5 walks, 2 strikeouts. The Dodgers, obviously, even with that opener going tonight, a heavy favorite, and it has to be. The Marlins are 8-21-4 in the first 5 and currently on a 2-14-2 run in their last 18 games in the first 5.
Good numbers. Worst ERA in baseball. Freeman's got the 9-game hitting streak. Hernandez is on fire. You could play Hernandez props and Freeman props. And even with all these injuries to the pitchers, Dodgers have won 9 of 10. And you're right, it's been bad Sandy. Bad last time out, bad all the way around this year. So forget what I said last year. What I said last week about this could be an audition. Well, he might be dealt. He certainly, I don't think hasn't gone well. That he's not giving you a lot to.
Not going to be for a king's ransom.
No, absolutely.
So
his value's at right now.
Great job, by the way, from everybody behind the glass here, flashing up the first 5 numbers there at Circa as well. So the Dodgers -0.5 a run, -105 in the first 5. It has to be under consideration. It has to be.
Now, do you like or dislike what's happened with the change here with the pitching? That the one guy was only supposed to go 40 pitches, and
I was going to give out a same-game parlay today. I was going to bet it, and also I wanted to bet Kasperius's K's prop. I wanted to ladder him up to like 5 and 6, but now that he's been pulled, books took him off the board as well. So, and he wasn't really available at every book today anyway. But that's tantalizing to me. Again, 2-14-2, first 5 last 18 games for Miami, and the Dodgers are still red hot despite the injuries like you just talked about.
Yep. Over the weekend, another under for Yamamoto, by the way. 6-1 to the under.
He's pitching so well.
He was awesome. Yep. Bassett had another under, too. All 7 of his starts have gone under.
So I also wanted to get involved. I did a little bit tonight with the Padres-Yankees game. It's Pivetta going against Rodon, but here's what you have to keep in mind. You have about an 80% chance of rain. So the way I wanted to attack this was with a K-prop, and it was with Carlos Rodon. First of all, I was hoping it was 6.5. It wasn't. It was 5.5. But I'll give you this. The Padres against lefties are top 10 in a lot of key metrics. They also strike out 18.7% of the time, lowest in all of Major League Baseball. And the number is exactly the same against lefties, third lowest rate. Opposing lefties are 7-4 to the under their K-prop against San Diego. I did take Rodon under 5.5 minus 110 because of what I just talked about with San Diego being elite against lefties in terms of not striking out, but also I'm taking a gamble here on he goes out for a couple of innings, the rain's so strong, and they just have to have a delay, or maybe there's multiple delays, and then Rodon can't go enough innings to. So I thought it was worth a shot to go under 5.5 with him tonight.
Yep, and then the Pivetta has been great this year, but then the last couple of years in New York, it's been a disaster with an ERA of 8 and change. So I think it's a total stay away, although the run that Judge is on.
Well,
with his props and what he's doing with the hitting streak, and he's hitting 14 in a row, and I would just say total bases with Judge here is a safe way to play it.
Well, you're reading my mind because I put this in the notes earlier today to remind myself that the run that he is on right now for the total bases, over 1.5 is minus 110. It was last check anyway. He's over that number in 8 straight games and 11-1 over 1.5 total bases last 12. We're talking. This is Barry Bonds territory now with him this year.
Yep.
And it's some of his total bases like. In recent games, 5, 5, 6, 5, 4, 4, 5, sprinkled in there with some other twos.
Not for nothing, though. It's a disappointment, though. They're 19 and 15. He's having this kind of year, and what you're getting from Rodon and Max, and this is your record? No good. I would say this is the most disappointing division in baseball.
Has to be. They don't have a team with 20 wins yet.
Baltimore is 7 games under, and the Red Sox, even with that easy schedule, should have a better record.
I don't disagree.
It's tough with the weather, though. In play, though.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
In play, attack San Diego. Because I don't trust, other than Weaver, I don't trust a lot of guys in that Yankee bullpen. But San Diego, the number 1 pen in the league. 19-0 when they lead after 7. Mm-hmm. So if they make it that far, that's a way you could attack it in play.
All right, Giants are playing at the Cubs. Roop takes on Boyd tonight. The Giants against lefties. They have 10 home runs and 336 at-bats. They are 22nd or below in several key categories against lefties, slugging their 14th, OPS their 18th. And the Chicago Cubs are 23-7-5 in the first 5. They're also on a run here of 10-1-3 in their last 14 games in the first 5. Now, Boyd is up there to like minus 170 in this game, but that also factors into just how awful. And Boyd's been pretty good this year, but the Giants are really not great at all against left-handed pitching.
Yep.
And the Cubs are just, I wish they were taking on a lefty today because they are a machine against lefties at this point.
You got some injuries now, though, too. So I want to see them run away with this division, but these injuries could get in the way now. But doable schedule.
I want to throw 2 games at you tonight. Pirates are playing at the Cardinals. Mets are playing at the Diamondbacks. Canning goes against Nelson in the Mets-Diamondbacks game. Nelson, PU, look away.
Yep.
Michael, this has actually been pretty good for the Cardinals as well. However, there is an angle tonight to both those games.
Right.
Those 2 teams played on a doubleheader yesterday. So when a team plays the next day after a doubleheader against a new opponent, they are 1-5 so far this year. Very small sample size. I totally get that. And the Mets will be on the road now after playing in St. Louis yesterday. Now they have to go play in Arizona tonight. But 1-5 so far, and it has to be under that specific criteria. You're playing a new opponent the next day, and it has to be with no day's rest.
You can't sell me on the Pirates, who have been shut out 6 times and are dreadful. Can't get there.
They've been shut out 6 times
They have
already?
been. It's a joke. Yep.
Lord.
Yep. And Canning's been good for the Mets. I love a prop in this game. Coming up, we'll get to in 5 minutes. But I'll do the prop standpoint with the Mets. But Canning's been good, even though they lost a couple games here as well. The other game I wanted to focus on was that night, and I think you were going there too, was Seattle, because we got the A's at home here.
Yep.
So Seattle has won 8 series in a row, and they've won 16 of 21, and again, that offense. So you got an 8.5, even though we're in the launching pad here, and it's a night game. I'm surprised by this, but again, it has to be over. We talked about the Polanco props, but Seattle's hot, and I would think the offense would continue here and go over 8.5 in the late game.
Well, and this also ties into it, right? Because you're going to get Miller against Severino. Opposing righties are 19-9 under their K-prop against the A's on the year. Now, everything that you just talked about, and I'll throw this at you too. Now, they've had some injuries, obviously, in the rotation. Logan Gilbert was spotted. Well, they put out a video. He's throwing a baseball now. But you're going to give me eventually Gilbert, Kirby, Wu, Miller, and Castillo as your starting rotation with what is turning into be an elite closer now in Munoz, who's yet to give up a run this year. And with this offense in a, I would say, pretty weak American League, I took the Mariners. I put a pretty healthy bet on them at 33-1 to win the World Series over the weekend.
All right.
Now, I'll go back and get the numbers here. But since Edgar Martinez took over on the coaching staff, this goes back to last year, the offense is completely flipped. The guy deserves a ton of credit. And I don't want to be too late. Is there a chance that the offense is not going to be sustainable for a full year? Hell, we're 1 month into a 6-month season. Certainly. But I also don't want to be too late to the party in case it is real here. And we ran down all their advanced metrics a week ago. They're top 5, top 6 in a lot of the key categories. Maybe, just maybe, that's real. And once the staff comes back, and if they can get fully healthy, maybe a big if, maybe not. But I will go to war with that starting 5 against anybody in Major League Baseball, especially if this offense happens to be turning the corner here.
Yep. Franchise record quality starts. Missed the playoffs. Impossible.
Yeah.
You get this offense, if it is real, they can make a deep run in a wide-open American League. Concur with that. Also, White Sox in Kansas City. White Sox 3-13 on the road. Reagan's a big price.
That's right.
Here come the Royals. They're playing well.
I was going to say that, and also the Tigers are, I think, pretty for real as well.
Yeah, I would agree. And the pitching's for real, no doubt. Want to bet smarter, not louder? Check out the Sharp Plays, sharpplays.com, where real bettors go to get ahead. Chasing steam, copying picks, recycling the same old value plays. They're not sharp. Sharp Plays is source they're echoing. Been with us since day one with Mr. Poison and all his great numbers. We were at the South Point, and since 2011, Sharp Plays has been locked in with what the real pros are betting. Elite groups, sharp money, and when the Sharp Plays jumps on a side, the line reacts. Insider info, powerful AI tools. Get ahead and sign up for free betting reports, real-time alerts, and next-level intel via email or on X. Check the receipts. The logs are live on the site. Lead it. Don't follow the crowd. SharpPlays.com. Respected and watched and feared. That's the Sharp Plays.
Pauly just told you that he loves a prop for tonight. Find out what it is next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Well documented last week how the bets were not so hot for me. Bad week last week. Did I turn the corner by tailing a combination of Samich and Massero here on the show and hitting the superfecta on Saturday?
Sure, that's a good feeling. I thought it would pay more, but that's awesome.
I'm not complaining.
I wanted to go contrarian. I threw out journalism, but I was high on Baeza, and I know our guy Richie and others gave us the winner, Savantry, but I certainly didn't see the Gambit, whatever it was, the final Gambit.
Final Gambit, yeah.
Getting there, so good job. Good job to Massero, and good job with people who hit it.
I would never complain about winning a ticket, ever, especially the superfecta. I got a phone call when the race was done that said this might pay $5,000-$10,000. Like, are you serious? Is it going to pay that much? I'm like,
dollar for a dollar?
Yeah.
Did you box it?
Oh, I did, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it was a spendy ticket.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, you think it might be $5,000-$10,000, really? And then we waited and waited and waited. And then it comes out $1,600. I'm like, oh, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, you needed Baeza to win then.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
But
I'm joking around, but I mean, it was still, it was great to hit, and thanks. Those guys were phenomenal.
Well, if you had Jets futures, maybe if you had any of those game sevens over, I would say you could turn the page. Things are going your way.
So
break out of it.
You're still firing here, right? Not going to retire from this, but the prop that I like tonight, and I like a couple of them, but and I get it. Guys are now back for Boston. Like Holiday was missing the last series against the Magic, and they have a ton of guys who can score, but New York. And I can't believe I'm saying this because, again, we talked about it with Bob Ryan. In theory, they have defenders who should be able to, neutralize Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Like, OG Anunoby's a really good defender. Bridges supposed to be a really good defender, right? But Tatum against New York this year averaged 33.5 points per game on 54, 48, and 80% shooting. Now, here's what I think maybe turned the corner for him against Orlando. So he had 17 points in the first game against the Magic. After that, he scored more than 30 in every single game. He never missed a free throw, and he went to the line 11, 12, and 14 times in the following 3 games. If that's the Tatum we're getting, and I think, rather than playing the stupid hero ball and settling for jump shots every single game, get to the rack. No team really has a good solution for you, especially the Knicks. You can score 35 a game at ease.
Yep.
So I had to play him over 27.5 tonight.
Yep.
I laid $1.08.
He had a big performance in one of the games. They won 131-104 as well. No answer for him. I love most points in the series, which you can find $1.20, $1.25 as well. Brunson figures to take a lot of shots, but I think Holiday can contain him, and I think it's all about Tatum there and most points in the series.
How about Tatum most rebounds in the series?
Price?
I think it's 350, 4-1.
Well, Cat, disappearing act, not to mention if he's in foul trouble. That could come into play, and that could cash as well. Celtics like to play with their food. They also did not play a complete game against Orlando. So I want to see their A game. They were great in the second half of the closeout game, and they were great in the second half of Game 1. Because at Game 1, they trailed at halftime. And I think they either trailed or it was close of Game 5, and then they blew them out. So won by 30. But if they bring their A game, there's nothing the Knicks can do, and I think it's all about Tatum. So there's different ways you can attack it. I'm with you with Tatum-related props.
I'll give you this. In the other game, SGA averaged 30.3 points per game, 6.5 assists, and 5 rebounds on 49% shooting against Denver this year. Also, 2.3 blocks per game and a steal per game. I'm trying to get down on over his blocks and steals combined tonight. I can't find it anywhere in Nevada. I want to go 2.5 plus money over. It's out there somewhere, but just not in Nevada.
Yep.
His points prop tonight's 31.5 or 32.5.
Jamal Murray, most threes in the series, plus 350. Like that. Also, Westbrook props. Going back, he'll take the bait. He loves OKC and the fans. He's going to get a warm ovation and reception.
Oh, interesting.
And also, though, he's going to take a lot of shots, play hero ball, as he always does, and could be blowouts. I mean, no one puts it on people like OKC. So you're talking about the number 1 point differential in NBA history, and they could blow these guys out not only tonight but a couple times, and then he could probably call off the dogs, and he doesn't have a deep team, and he's putting Westbrook out there anyways because someone has to play.
How about pizza money on Russ every game? Right, you bet him every single game to have a triple-double.
Oh, that's wow.
But again, you're hoping for the blowout. You want the 40-point blowout where he plays 35 minutes, and then there you go. There's the possibility.
Double-double, not bad. Okay, sure.
Joker did have 2 triple-doubles against them this year. He averaged 39 minutes, 24.5 points, almost 16 rebounds, and 11.5 assists per game in the regular season.
He had an all-time game against them, but you have the dudes with Chet and Hartenstein to slow him down.
Yeah.
Or at least contain him, too. But it's also, I think he's gone under his, I think every game of the Clippers series but one, he went under his point prop.
I think the Clippers did a hell of a job against him.
Yes, but overall. It's more like get the other guys involved and let my teammates eat, and maybe that could be why Murray cashes this prop as well, plus 350. All the other stuff I got's hockey.
Yeah, I got some more NBA stuff, but we can also do that a little bit more tomorrow. I'm very intrigued by one thing in the Wolves-Warriors game. Ant was really good against Golden State this year. He hit 4 threes, at least 4 threes in every game against them this season.
Okay, so you want that. You don't want Curry $1.60 then. You want Ant the second choice.
Well, no, because how about that? No, they played every game before Jimmy Butler came over to Golden State, so I don't think I really want Ant. But I'm curious as to where this is going to hold up. Steph took 48 threes in the 4 regular season games. But that's who he is and what he does, right?
Yeah.
Is he going to take 10-plus threes? There's your angle again, right? Why you like him for most threes in the series.
They're not getting anything down low. And I would also think it's perfect timing. Yes, they won the game, but Finch has to be livid at how they played that game. Go down low. You're killing them.
Yeah.
Why are you settling for threes? What was it? Was it Anna 1 of 11 in that game?
Yes, yeah.
Why are you taking so many threes? Get to the basket, right?
Yep.
So
but you also, hold on. I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No, go ahead.
You wanted to go hockey, but you also have a strong one in Major League Baseball tonight.
It's Pete Alonso.
Okay.
It's Alonso tonight over 1.5 total bases against Nelson. He is 4 for 9, going back with 3 bombs.
Yep. Plus 340 is the highest number I can find for a home run.
Like that. Yep. That's my baseball prop. And as far as hockey, VGK Edmonton, first period over. Tomorrow, all 6 games went over in the Minnesota series. We have to relish the opportunity here. We have another chance to bet against Hellebuck. Jets, Dallas, first period over. Jets, first period over, 6-1 in the St. Louis series. Game over, 6-1. Team total over. Opponent team total over, 6-1. So until this guy can figure it out and look like the regular season Hellebuck, keep betting Jets stuff over. And then you have to go with Marner tonight. It's his birthday, and they just had a baby. And I would say in Toronto, was Van Vliet a good average player? Above average?
He was more than serviceable, I'd say.
Well, his wife had a kid, and then he just became out of his mind hitting threes every game and led him to the championship. What happened? Now, it certainly helped you had Kawhi, but the run that he was on after the baby. So baby power and also the birthday, and good job by Nick to point out what Nylander did. Marner to score a goal tonight as well. Or you can go over points, a couple assists, whatever, shots on goal. But I think Marner can light the lamp tonight, too.
Yeah, I've had a hell of a run, actually, since we adopted Sebastian a year ago. And it's the year of the dragon. So I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say, wait till you see the baby luck that's going to be coming your way in the first year. And they were kind of spot on.
Yeah.
A lot of things. Again, I was blown away right away how I never had any understanding of how it opened doors for people once you have a kid. And how people, just like in groups, will come running over to help you out if you have a problem. Blew my mind.
I tell you, I tried to slip one past the goalie so many times, and the mother-in-law would always get on the phone. Hey, Mom wants to talk to you. Hello? Grandkid? I go, no, not yet. Can't do it. And then we broke up, but it was like she always, and then like we came home with the puppy, right? And we show her the puppy, and she goes, dog takes all your luck. No grandkid. She wouldn't talk to me. She was furious. She goes, she said, I hate you to me. I hate you.
The grandma did.
The mother-in-law.
The mother-in-law, sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
So, because no grandkid brought the dog home, couldn't slip one past the goalie.
So your ex was regular season Hellebuck, not postseason Hellebuck.
Yes.
You needed the bad version.
Unbelievable. Right. Then she passed it off on the sister. She was like low 20s. So and go and have a mistake. Come on.
Did she?
I don't know. I don't have an update there about having a mistake, but it was a great deal. I'll take care of it. You don't have to do anything, she would say.
That's an unbelievable deal.
Yeah, okay. That's okay. Well, I like to have a couple things back with that. Get the G-Bank Visa Signature Card today. Most credit card, street sports books, and gaming transactions as cash advances. Even when you put your own money on the card, G-Bank treats gaming transactions as purchases, so you're saving up to 3 to 5% on cash advance fees on the transactions right there. Also, you're earning 1% cashback rewards on eligible sports books and gaming transactions, and 2% cashback rewards on eligible purchases. Apply now, vsin.com/gbank, vsin.com/gbank. There you go, about 6, 7, 8 plays for your G-Bank plays.
Yeah. Another reason why I think I like the Dodgers for the first 5 tonight. Muncy, Betts, they each have 2 homers and good numbers off Alcantara, and Michael Conforter, if he's in the lineup tonight, has really good numbers against him as well. So there is that angle. We have 3 playoff games on the docket tonight. We're going to discuss those up next. Is this Canada's year? It's the first time they've accomplished this since 2004. We'll tell you what it is next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Playoffs in a moment. I mentioned this earlier this hour that I made a bet on a team to win the World Series over the weekend. it was the Seattle Mariners at 33-1. And part of the reason why, again, Buster only tweeted this out. This goes back to last Thursday night. Since August 1st of last year, the Mariners have played 82 games, basically a half a season. In the American League, since that time, they are second in runs, second in home runs, second in stolen bases, second in walk percentage, and second overall in WRC+. And that's Edgar Martinez, the legendary hitter for the Mariners, working with the team. So that correlates to it. And I love what I'm seeing so far early on. And then, again, at some point, you would think Gilbert, Kirby, Wu, Miller, Castillo is going to be the rotation.
Don't hate it. Absolutely. I'm on board, man.
In a weak American League.
It's fun with all this history stuff about. I couldn't believe that was the first Game 7 at home for Winnipeg in the NHL. Go back,
going all the way back.
Go like whatever it was, a WHA, whatever that league was, the late 70s, right? But you never had a Game 7 at home, and they came up with the whiteout and everything. That's crazy. The Knicks, and we'll talk to the guy who has season tickets, and Bovey's great. He'll make the case for the Knicks coming up. But the Knicks haven't made the conference finals since 2000. Toronto hasn't made it past round 2 since 2002. I mean, some of this stuff doesn't make sense with these droughts and what we're going through. And certainly the Knicks had some down years. But with all that, with the media and the fan support and the talent they've had, that Toronto, this drought, you figure you get it done one of these years.
No kidding.
Hopefully it's tonight and they can get off on a good track here against Florida. It's on the right track.
I'll give you this too. I'll pay off the tease here. Again, no Canadian team has won the Cup since 1993?
Correct.
Okay.
That's a fun prop now too, because now we got 3 of the last 8, and there's a path that you get Winnipeg, Edmonton to go to the Cup.
No doubt. So this is a tweet from Sportsnet. 3 Canadian teams are in the second round of the playoffs for the first time since 2004.
Really?
I mean, that's the ultimate path. And if you're going to bet that prop, obviously, and you're betting Canada to break the streak, is that you need Winnipeg, or you would want Winnipeg and Edmonton, obviously, to be in the Western Conference Finals.
Maurice said throw out the regular season. Doesn't matter. In any event, Florida went 3-1 against Toronto in the regular season. It's a different team. I love Berube. The Stolars was good. Defense as well. I think I can count on the goaltending, which I haven't been able to say that since Potvin in God knows how long.
Well, that's the thing, right? So doesn't this year's team...
Sorry, I can count on the defense and the goaltending and the coaching. Now, I know I have been able to say that since they lost to Gretzky in that Game 7 in 93, whatever it was.
All of that, then, to me, eliminates the history here of the team.
Yeah.
Because this is a completely different version of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It has to be.
Yeah.
The coaching, different. The goaltending, in your opinion, then going to be strong enough, and the defense overall, again, that has been a factor in past failures as to right in these series, even leading into them, or when they would have a lead in the series or in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't bank on this team, but I think that's gone now.
Yep, and I know, like Nick said, it'll be gloomy gusts and doom and gloom if they lose and fall behind 1-0, but it doesn't mean that it's over. But you also have a team that's highly power-rated and the champs, and they've made it back-to-back years to the Stanley Cup final. And also what they did to take apart Tampa. That was another one. Forget about the Clippers and Avalanche. How many people picked Tampa, not only to win that series, but to go to the Cup?
Yeah.
And so they win in 5. Tampa scored 12 goals and only had 2 on the power play, and they took them apart no problem. So that's another angle, too, why you're seeing here a team with home ice, yet Florida's $1.70. But you can beat Bob. You can beat Bob through the 5-hole, and also what Nick said, good interview about it. 2 hours ago, hour and a half ago, is the special teams. I think the special teams will determine a lot of these series, how this could play out. And it's going to be big in the Carolina-Washington. It could be a huge in the Vegas-Edmonton, and it could be big in this one as well. Okay. In the playoffs, Florida was number 2 on the penalty kill. Toronto was 5th. And in the regular season, Toronto was 17th on the penalty kill, and Florida was 10th. And then we'll see what can happen on the power play, as Toronto was 3rd on the power play out of the playoff teams and what transpired in the first round.
I'm forcing you live on the air right now to make a bet on a dog. One dog. You have to bet one dog. Who is it? Not game 1, series.
Well, are we counting Vegas? You're going to count that.
In theory, you could.
I'll stay away from that one then.
Okay. Capitals, Jets, Maple Leafs?
I would say it's the Capitals because of the uncertainty of Anderson and the history with Carolina's goaltending, even though he was solid against New Jersey when he was in there. If something happens, he re-aggravates the injury or whatever, if someone runs him, or if there's an injury, I don't trust the backup at all, Kochetkov, and I think Thompson was phenomenal against Montreal, and they were hot.
You call this a clear edge in net for the Capitals?
I can't say that, no.
But it's an edge.
Yeah.
For sure. You have to.
Yeah, well, Anderson had a great year, but I can't say that, Thompson has a ton of big game experience either, even though he was good against Montreal. So, but that's a series, too, where I think, because Carolina had the number one kill in the playoffs and the regular season, and Washington can be dangerous on the power play, and we'll see if what Ovechkin can do in this series.
NBA tonight, I do not have an opinion on the side of either game. I do have an opinion coming up, I think, on the Knicks-Celtics total that I can probably get into. I'm going to be betting props in both these series tonight. I do have an opinion on the games tomorrow, which we'll share at that point. But, again, I can't wait to hear it. We have a pro bettor in studio coming up in about 10 minutes. He's going to make a case for the Knicks. I have to hear it. Again, I don't want to completely overreact to what happened in the regular season. I really don't. But there's an angle here to where the Knicks are it's a really bad matchup for New York.
All right.
And
I agree.
Again, the part that I don't understand, make it make sense to me why the perimeter guys for Boston, other than them obviously being elite, were so tremendous against the Knicks in the regular season. When the Knicks have guys who are supposed to be good defending perimeter players. I think OG Anunoby in the right system could be a defensive player of the year at some point. He's that good. Bridges, in theory, is supposed to be that. We heard that his entire career when he was in Phoenix. Oh, elite defender. This kid, boy, this guy is a limit for him. Is it? Because it certainly did not pan out this way when they played Boston in the regular season.
Yep. Well, we agree on this series. I think it's Celtics in 5, and the Knicks have to prove it to me and show me as well. Now, Brunson was phenomenal, other than Game 5 of the Detroit series. But you wonder how much these guys have in the tank, too. And that was a physical series, and that wasn't supposed to be competitive, even though the series price was so high, and it turned out to be a great series. The other one was OKC's up to 10.5. Oh, man. 10.5 and 228. It's interesting from a total standpoint with the numbers, because the total 228. When OKC held their opponents under 110 points, they were 50-1 straight up. Under 100, 19-0. When Denver couldn't score 110, they were 1-16 straight up. So do they lock them down again with this great defense and they get the number one point differential? Or can Joker go off and does Murray go off? Because the on-off numbers, too, which I have here. On, plus 10.5. Off, minus 9.3. That's per 100 possessions. That is all time where you're best in the league, one of the best of all time, or you're the worst in the league. So can they survive the non-Joker minutes? And it's got to be a big series out of Murray if they're going to keep this close at all.
This total is up 3 points from this morning. It's now 220.5 here at Circa. 225.5 hours ago.
Yeah.
Playoff basketball. Here. Okay, so I'll throw this at you.
They did have that stretch where they were 18th or 17th, I think, in defense after the All-Star break. But it seems they figured it out late in the season, and Denver was 21st in the regular season in defense. So maybe it's a get up and go, and they get whatever they want offensively. They should. Unlike the Clippers, OKC should be able to score at will.
Well, I guess here's the path for Denver, making it interesting, or actually maybe having a chance to win this series. So Joker's going to have to probably play the best basketball of his entire life, which is difficult to do. Although I never want to doubt the Joker, but he's going to have to average 30, 15, and 12. They're going to have to shoot a super high number, and they're going to have multiple guys, in the starting 5. And Russ has to have good games every single night.
Porter.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You're probably going to need playoff Murray in 5 of the games, and you also need this. You need Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to turn into James Harden, and I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, first off, he's going to be aggressive, and he'll demand the ball.
Of course he will. No
so
question.
That's problem solved.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he did it again. What a horrific resume. He did it again. In a Game 7, couldn't count on him, didn't want the ball. Nowhere to be found. Oh, so bad. Well, you also got to take care of the ball, too. Denver was 25th in turnover differential. OKC, second best going back 40 years.
Yeah.
It's a historic team. All the numbers are telling you
100%.
that they're going to win the title. It's on them to get it done. And you would think the fluke or unfortunate loss to Dallas gives them added motivation.
Pro better Paul Bovey. Next, he'll make a case for the Knicks. I can't wait to hear it.
If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.